Good morning. It's Saturday the 25th of August, just after 9 o'clock, and I'm setting off from Strumble heading as far as I possibly can towards St David's. For some reason the shuttle bus which I wanted to catch doesn't stop at Strumble and so I brought the van, parked it up, and my intention is simply to walk as far as I can and catch one of the buses this afternoon, sort of mid-afternoon and late afternoon, whichever one, back here to Strumble, take the van and go and stay back in Fishguard, where it's carnival weekend, and so there's going to be quite a lot of people around tonight. It'll be very interesting. A few beers and meet one or two more people and get a bit of video of the kind of festival atmosphere, hopefully, because tomorrow it's forecast all day heavy rain, which is a bit of a disappointment. This week has been something of a disappointment in that I walked on Monday and I walked on Thursday, and because of the weather and the weather forecasting, I've been unable to walk. I mean, it gave me a rest. Not that I particularly needed one, but I do feel very fresh this morning. I stayed on a lovely campsite just outside Tregose, just outside of Fishguard, where I had hook up, and it meant that I could edit the film which I did on Thursday, which I posted yesterday. And tomorrow will give me the opportunity to edit this film as well, while I'm sat in the van in the pouring rain, so it doesn't really matter. The weather this morning is glorious. I wish it was like this more often. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's only maybe about, at the moment, maybe about 12 degrees, but they say it's going to go up to about 16, 17, so as the day goes on, it should get warmer. And with the bright sunshine in exactly the right place, off to my left in the east, it gives me a great opportunity to get some nice video of this wonderful Pembrokeshire coastline. Well, I left the Strumble probably about an hour ago, and I bumped into a young lady called Stephanie, who's from Germany. And so what are you doing here then, Stephanie?
I'm spending my holiday and walking around the Pembrokeshire coast path.
Yes. Are you enjoying it? That's
yeah, sure. I stayed in different youth hostels in Broadhaven, St David's, and now in Derry.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh well, because I was saying earlier on that there's an awful lot of Germans that I've met on this walk. It seems to be very popular, especially with Europeans, but the walk is a fantastic walk, isn't it? The scenery is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's just an amazing view, and the landscape's really nice.
Yes. I notice you're a photographer as well. You like to record everything on in stills rather than video.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Stephanie, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's 11:10 and I've been walking for exactly 2 hours now. Not many people about on the walk actually this morning. Quite surprising, being such a lovely morning. There's a little bit of a gentle breeze, but it's not too bad. I've known worse than that. And I'm making really good progress, and the first part of this walk, maybe the first 2 or 3 miles, was a little bit hilly, but it seems to have settled down now, and it's fairly flat, and it's quite a wide path which is nice and soft. The rain from yesterday, which we had yesterday afternoon while I was editing, hasn't made a great deal of difference to the surface. It's absorbed the water extremely well. Tonight I'll be going back to Fishguard, where there's all the celebrations for the jazz festival and the carnival atmosphere, which I'm looking forward to. And tomorrow is forecast absolute torrential rain all day. Now I know I keep mentioning Alan, the guy who owns the cafe, and what a lovely guy. This morning he said to me, well, I'm closed on a Sunday, Jim, so here we are. And he actually, this is the photograph that I took earlier of a little box that he gave me with some eggs, bacon, sausage, tomatoes. What a wonderful, thoughtful man. Absolutely wonderful. And in the cafe there were the men that I met the other night who were the Iron Men, and they were all getting themselves prepared for today. And lovely lads, absolutely lovely. And I'll be going again. It seems to be quite infectious. The Royal Oak seems to be by far the most popular pub, by what I'm told. I haven't been in all the others to find out, but from what I'm told, it is the most popular pub. Sorry. I was in there on Thursday evening. You may remember that I met an American girl from Texas who was walking around the Pembroke coast and was in Europe. She'd been working in Japan, and she'd been to Asia, and she was travelling. She'd been to Africa, and what a lovely girl. Well, I mentioned to her that I was going to be in the pub actually on Thursday night, and she turned up, and we sat and had a wonderful meal and talked for a couple of hours. And what a fantastic woman she is, absolutely lovely. 28-year-old, and she's wild camping, and what a fantastic attitude to life. And it was an absolute pleasure. So I'm having a great time. I'm loving it this morning. It's great to be back outside again in the fresh air. I've been a bit frustrated by the weather. Nothing I can do about it. Obviously this walk is taking longer than I thought it was going to. There's not a problem with that. I'm not in a rush. It can take 3-4 weeks for all that matters, and hopefully this weather now, this might be the turning point after tomorrow's rain, where I might get a good week in next week and try and recover some of the miles that I've missed over the past week. But it's great. I'm loving it. Well, I'm about 2.5 hours in now from Strumble, and I'm doing very well, and I've met these lovely people who are going in the opposite direction. And your name, sir?
Jim Reynolds.
Jim. And
Kasia.
And Kasia. Where are you from, Jim?
I'm Irish originally, but we live in Bath now.
Oh really? That's a lovely place. You've got some lovely walks around that area.
Oh yeah, lovely. Very different from this though.
Yes. Do you do a great deal of walking, in that area?
Yes, we do. Pretty much every weekend.
Right. And what about this wonderful walk that we're on now? Have you done the whole extent of it yet?
No. We done some this time last year.
Yes.
We went from Solva to Porthgain.
Yes.
And this year we're going to try and get to Fishguard.
Right.
So that's...
Oh well, I can recommend Fishguard. Wonderful place.
If we make it.
Yes.
It's going to rain tomorrow.
And you, Tasia? Whereabouts are you from, please?
I'm Polish.
From Poland? Oh,
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Again, we live together in Bath.
Ah, right. I had a friend in Poland, her name was Magdalena. Do you know her?
I know Magdalena. my sister's Magdalena.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
Her.
And so obviously you like you walking and getting out and about.
Oh yes, we do like to get out.
Right. And Britain, do you go in? Have you been anywhere else in Britain particularly?
Yes, like in May we went to climb Snowdon, so
Oh,
we went
yes.
to Snowdonia bank holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Lynmouth.
Exmoor.
Yeah.
Then recently, where did we go last time? Wye Valley as well.
Oh, right. That's lovely down
Only recently.
there.
The
Yeah.
next thing would be Lake District, I think.
Yes. Yes. Well, I can recommend all of those places. Fantastic.
Yeah. Lynmouth is my favourite.
Lynmouth.
Yeah.
Really?
Not the
that's
coastal.
That's down on the Dorset coast, isn't it? Is
Yes.
it not far from? Let me think. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's
Yeah.
not far from Weymouth, is it?
It's just down that direction, but not the
It's
coastal.
at the side, it's a Bristol Channel, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
It's on the
Minehead, next to Minehead.
Yes.
But
Yes.
not the coastal path, the path that walks through the valley.
Yes.
It's one of the nicest walks.
Yeah. Well, it's been really nice saying hello to you.
He's
And,
moving.
there's not many people,
Oh, look.
so look, I'm going to get this seal now, okay? And as I say, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice
Lovely to meet you, Jim.
Thank you, thank you,
Enjoy your journey.
thank you. Here I am in Abercastle, and it's nearly 3 o'clock now, and this is Amber and this is Carl. And Carl, you're telling me you're a Coast Guard. That must be a really interesting thing
Yeah,
in this neck of the woods?
Yeah, I've just joined in the last nine months,
Yes.
and we've had obviously this is our busy period when you get all the visitors coming down.
Yes.
Generally, we're going out and we're recovering people who maybe twisted an ankle, bits and pieces.
Yes.
So it's a lot of medical evacuations, and we also set up for the helicopter when it comes in, which is more often now because we've got 2 new helicopters based in St Athan.
Yes.
So we call the helicopters in quite often,
Yes.
and we'll secure an area for them to actually land the helicopter.
Yes.
But very often, if an ambulance was here, he wouldn't be able to go out to the coastal path where maybe somebody's hurt themselves. So
Yes.
we'll actually evacuate the casualty to the ambulance.
Right.
And I say I'm based in St David's. There's
Yes.
12 of us, all volunteers,
Yes.
and we support Fishguard and Milford.
Right.
And I'm given to understand we'll have between 40 and 60 shouts every year.
Really?
Yeah, it's and you get a lot of searching for missing people.
Yes.
Dogs jumping off the cliff,
Yes.
unfortunately, and we go and we'll get that dog back to
Yes.
stop the owners go in for the dog.
Trying to
So
go after
it's,
it, yes.
but it's a nice thing. It's very enjoyable and it's good teamwork.
It must be very self-satisfying and
It is.
rewarding for yourself. I mean, I think that's incredible that you should be a volunteer and do something like that.
Yeah, it's
Putting yourself at risk at times as well. I would imagine you have to do that quite often.
one of the big things we're tasked with, and one of the things we're arguably the best at, is going over the cliff.
Yes.
And obviously that is a risky thing when you're going over the cliff to try and rescue somebody, and they're
Yeah.
maybe 200, 300 foot down
Yes.
at the bottom of a cliff face, and if the tide's coming in, you've got to get down there.
Yes.
So that's quite important. But I mean, there's a lot of training goes on.
Yes.
I've not yet become what they call a rope tech, which is the chap who actually goes over the side, but that's something
Right.
I'll be doing next year.
Right.
But what we do a lot of is people who've fallen and twisted ankles, broken legs,
Yes.
shoulders and things.
Yes.
And we get a lot of visitors here. I mean, there's only 300,000 people in Pembrokeshire, but that
Yeah.
number will virtually double as the
Oh,
visitors
yes,
come in.
Absolutely.
So this summer period is bonkers busy.
I could imagine.
But it's good. It's good fun. We enjoy it.
And Amber, what about yourself? By the way, thank you very much indeed for the cakes, the Welsh
don't
cakes.
worry, yeah.
I've never had any Welsh cakes, and your dad very kind gave me a very nice cup of tea, which was very nice.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a cup of tea. I've just walked down from Strumble Lighthouse. And,
Oh wow, yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to have a break and a cup of tea. But what do you do then? Are you
Oh well, I'm obviously in
She's-
school still, yeah.
She's only 14 and a half.
14
Yeah.
and a half?
Yeah,
Wow.
so, she's
But I actually, Welsh cakes. I work down in Welsh cake shop down in Solver, so
Right.
yeah, I just make Welsh cakes
a
really.
company called Mangi.
Mamgie's Welsh cake,
Mamgie's.
which means grandmother in Welsh.
Yeah.
So-
I notice you've got your sort of wetsuit on.
Yeah.
What about what's that for then? Do
Oh
you do
well, we're going off now just around the coves in Abercastle, so
Yes.
yeah, we're just having a
We're
little
gonna
wander.
Doing some coast steering, we are.
Right.
And we've got our goggles and things to see what the visibility's like.
And your fishing rods as well and
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like
Oh
that?
yeah.
Well, we'll wait then. When the tide comes back in, I've got a boat over in Solver, so I've got 3 pots out there, and
Yes.
we'll go and catch some mackerel. And
Right.
we'll lift the pots and rebait the pots.
Wow,
So
you
normally-
lead a very interesting life, Carl, don't
Yeah,
you?
I must be honest. It's a lovely place, man. To be
Yes.
fair, it's. We came down for 6 months, and that was 7 years ago.
Yes.
We never went back.
Yes.
So yeah, and it's a great place for kids to be brought up. To be fair.
Yes.
Although I keep telling Amber she does need to when she gets her A levels and whatever, she needs to go off to university because
Yeah.
unfortunately there's not a lot for
Of
for
opportunity
youngsters.
in
Yeah.
it. Yes, I
They've
can
got to get
understand
away,
Yeah.
and but they always come back. That's
Yes.
the thing. So
Yeah.
as much as I'll be sorry to see her go, I'll be pleased because
Yes.
she'll be off to exciting things, and then
Yes.
she can come back whenever she wants. It'll always be
Yeah.
here, and we'll always be here. To be fair. But,
So finally, I mean, you know the path very well, obviously. So I've got this far. What's in front of me for the next sort of 20
Well,
miles? What can you tell me
yeah.
about that?
Your next set, as you come along now, you got Aberystwyth, and you'll be heading over towards White Sands and St David's Head.
Yes.
And when you get to St David's Head, you need to walk to the very end of it. You'll see a Stone Age burial tomb, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
there's 7 Stone Age castles there, Stone Age fortifications.
Yes.
So if you go right to the end, but you have to turn around and look back, and you'll see the 7 circles.
Right.
So that's right on St David's Head. And then as you come back down through White Sands, which is a lovely little beach, you'll head off then in the inside of Ramsey Island, and if you look in there, that's where the porpoises and the dolphins are. And then as you come around, then you'll be heading towards our place, which is Solva.
Wow.
And Solva's a lovely place. Of course, if you've got time, you need to nip into St David's to have a look at the cathedral, which is, I mean, that's a must. You've got to do
Because
that.
it's a city, isn't it, of course?
It's 2,500 people, smallest city in Europe.
Really?
But yeah, 2,500 people apparently. And then, and of course, for Catholics and a pilgrimage to St David's, you'd have to do 4 pilgrimages to St David's to be the equivalent of 1 to Rome. So that's why St David's is so famous.
Ah, right.
Because it was very much the place to come if you were Catholic.
Ah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, loads, you'll see loads. And you'll see St Non's, which is the birthplace or the mother of St David.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's a lot for you to look at. And if you keep your eyes peeled, you'll see porpoises.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, lots going on. And you might even see us fishing then as well.
Yeah.
Do you know, I could stand here talking to you all day. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. And once again, thank you for the tea.
Yeah,
and,
you're
and
very
Yeah,
much.
it's
for
been
the
lovely
biscuits.
meeting you. Yeah.
And I'm just knocked out with people like you. I was saying to you earlier on that this film is not necessarily about me walking, and it's not necessarily about places that I go to and the places that I see. It's about the people that I'm meeting, and I've met some fantastic, genuinely lovely people. And Carl, you're nearly at the top of the list of that. You're certainly a very, very nice guy, and it's an absolute pleasure to meet people like you. And it's been like this all the way since I left Anglesey, which I was knocked out with the people and the friendliness, and all the way down the coast. I've met some really nice people, and it makes this walk around the country worthwhile, because I would never have met you in any other way.
Well, Wales is full of generally happy, pleasant people. I find it just
I find exactly the same.
Yeah, they're just nice and they want to talk to you.
Yes.
And genuinely nice people, so that's good.
I'm looking forward to getting back to Fishguard tonight, because it's their festival weekend.
Yeah, it is
the
actually,
jazz festival and God knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's very interesting.
Excellent.
Okay, thanks Carl.
Thank you.
very much indeed.
Good luck with that.
Thank you very much
Meeting you,
indeed.
yeah.
Thank you. Here I am in Abercastle, and I've met this wonderful bunch of ladies who are all members of a walking group called the Cliffhangers. Hello, ladies. And I was talking to you. You're one of the founder members of this.
Yes.
So could you tell me something about it, please?
Cliffhangers Climbing Club was a group of friends that founded the club in about 1984.
Yes.
Claire and Sue are also founder members.
Yes.
And we walk, we climb, and this is the women's contingent, or some of the women's contingent.
Right. So were there never men involved in it then? Or?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, there are most of our partners. Some and some other. Yeah, there are there are men as well.
And I was talking to this lady. And so, how often do you get together for like walks and?
Well, it
social
varies
events?
really, doesn't it? I mean, I must admit I'm not the most regular of get-togethers, but we have an annual women's meet, which is this one, and then we have an end-of-year meet, and then there are various meets in between, which everybody goes to a greater or lesser extent. That's
fabulous. And so, what different places, different parts of the country?
Where have we been? We've been to Kent. That was where last year's women's meet was. Also in Wales is our end-of-year meet. That's in Snowdonia, and in other parts of Europe.
Wonderful. That's excellent. So, if I may just go around very quickly, and you give me a name. Your name, please.
Claire.
Claire.
Carol.
Carol.
Liz, newest member.
Oh, you're the newest member?
Yeah.
How are you getting on with them all then? Is it going all right?
You'd have to ask them. No, it's all nice.
Jess.
Jess.
Lenya.
Lenya.
Claire.
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 Another Claire.
Sue.
Sue.
Moira.
Yes.
Caroline.
And Caroline. Well, it's been a real pleasure to meet you, ladies. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And you can check out Facebook tomorrow night or YouTube. It'll be on there.
Okay. Well, when we're back in Signal, when we're back on the internet.
Yes, it's not very good round here, is it?
Where will you be? In 3 days.
I'm going back to Fishguard because it's the Jazz Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been parking up there because the internet signal is really, really good.
Right.
And somebody's offered me a free parking place, which is very nice. So I'll be there. If you're going to go there, I can recommend there's a really good pub there, the Royal Oak.
We started
You started, right. Oh well, so you know it very well then. But it's been a real pleasure meeting you all, ladies. Thank you very much indeed.
Good luck with your trip.
Thank you. Bye bye now. Bye bye. Unfortunately, the weather forecast for tomorrow is for torrential rain, so I won't be going far and I'll be editing this film. It's been a lovely day. I've met some fantastic people again. The weather's been very kind, not much wind, absolutely perfect conditions. The breeze, the slight breeze has dried out the track very nicely. I didn't have any problems at all. I've walked exactly 15 miles today, which is a good walk. I've enjoyed that. Met all these wonderful people and it's been an absolutely typically good day. In the Royal Oak, and it's around about sort of 9 o'clock-ish, I think. And your name, sir, is?
Peter.
Peter.
Emma.
Emma.
I'm James.
And James. And I've just been talking with these people for probably, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and what delightful people. And you're from London, James, you live in London?
Living in Crystal Palace, up on the hill with Emma.
Excellent. And so you're enjoying yourself up here then, Emma?
Yeah, it's nice to be back home for we're here for a few days, back home for until Wednesday, Thursday. So it's nice to be having a break from London and be back in West Wales for a bit.
And you've all been out on your boat today?
That's right, yeah, we've had a nice day, haven't we? Out sailing and swimming then.
Fantastic.
and become regulars. So yeah, it's been lovely.
And you recommended the fish shop round the corner as being a good one?
Fish and chips are brilliant here. Yeah.
Well, I
You should try those.
I mean, I'm from Hull, you know. Fish.
Well,
The fish and chips there are good.
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
yeah, well worth it.
But it's lovely to meet you. You're all lovely people.
Pleasure.
And keep in touch. And when I get down to Romney Marsh, definitely we'll have a day's walk.
I'll email you before or something.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Let me know your schedule, and you know it's only an hour and a half from London for me, so I could come down and meet you.
That'd be terrific, and we can go and have a couple of beers afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in the Pilot in Dungeness or something like that. Have a beer there.
Yeah, that'd be terrific. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, Jim.
Great to meet you.
Looking about as sweet as a candy bar. I got no reason in the world to feel this good.